All right, welcome to yet another first board game review with Way Brothers. He's Nate, I'm Cody.
This is Era of Kingdoms.
Yep.
Designed, created by Michael Arisman.
Illustrated by Jeff Porter.
This was the very first game that we personally backed on Kickstarter, and currently the only one we've backed. Haven't really gotten back into that.
And the only thing in general that I personally have ever done on Kickstarter.
And I as well.
All
and
right.
I do not remember why we found
I
this
think
game.
I told you about it. I heard about it somehow.
So it's your
I think
fault.
I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, Nate, this is so cool. We should totally back this. Let's do the $30 one and then the $60 one, so we get the silver supporter. And actually, fun fact, we named a card in here because we were we'll get to that later.
The teaser.
Yeah, teaser.
Yeah.
But fun fact,
Keep
if
you
you
watching.
go in the end of this lovely codex and look under silver supporters, look for the surname Alexander.
But do not email us and ask us why.
Yes.
It is called that. Because we don't
We
know.
don't remember. So in Era of Kingdoms, you play as a noble lord in the medieval times trying to create a kingdom and gather prestige and power and be the first person to basically become enlightened. But you're not Buddha, so don't get confused.
Not Buddha at all.
No. Yes.
The core mechanic of this game is kind of an engine builder or kingdom builder, if that's what you want to call it. This is it's a card-centric game. Not really card drafting because you're just drawing. You have your 3 piles. You have basic, intermediate, advanced cards, and you draw from certain piles depending on what stage of the game you're in. And then you use those cards. They have resources, buildings, whatnot, and you're playing those on your player mat. You have a player mat like this. You're playing those on your mat. You have a section for people. There's people you can draw, and then there's buildings and resources.
Yes.
And you're basically just building your kingdom, making
Not
it better.
the middle. Not the middle.
Not the middle. You're just building it, making it better, becoming richer so you can draw better cards, get more points, and
Win.
eventually the game ends.
Well, yeah. That is the one interesting mechanic of this, is you don't win after getting to a certain number of points. Like Catan, you go to 10 or 12 victory points. It's actually a win condition that is different every time, because you have the Age of Enlightenment card, which is one of the advanced deck cards. It goes in there and is shuffled into a certain number of cards depending on how many players you're playing with. So if you're playing with more players, it's going to come later in the game. But eventually someone draws the Age of Enlightenment card and the game ends, and then you tally up all your victory points.
Or you could just shuffle that card in.
You could totally ignore the rule
first,
book.
it might come up last.
We ignored the rule book a lot when
There
playing
are,
this game.
I'll talk about, there are definitely some good house
Yeah.
rules to, if you're going to play this game, there are some good house rules to implement, for sure. There's also, this game comes with a couple of expansions, or at least our copy did. I'm assuming
It came
the
with,
original
it's the Kickstarter packet.
One of those, well, it's basically all one expansion.
They are separate.
They are technically separate.
Yeah.
It adds in the trade route, which is this right here. It adds in a second resource. I guess it unfolds.
Yeah, unfold it.
It adds in a second resource. It adds a fifth resource. Adds in commerce. Sorry, goods are the resource. Adds in goods. It's another resource you can use. Personally, not really a fan of it. It does mitigate the luck of drawing a little bit. One of the drawbacks to this game is you can get really unlucky with cards you draw, and that sucks for you. This does mitigate that a little bit.
But eventually what happens is you've got your different slots here. People don't take the ones they don't want, and usually they become all the same cards. You're just stuck with like 6 lumber camps.
Which there is a card where you can swap cards out.
Yeah, does help.
Ultimately, I think that this specifically just bogs the game down. It adds in another phase that kind of takes a while, especially if you have your max 4 players. It really kind of slows it down.
Yeah.
So not a great implementation. A couple of the commerce cards are good. One of the ones the one we named, the trading post, is okay. It specifically pertains to that board, but it has another bonus that's nice. It also adds in your player goals. You can have a goal specifically to you, attributes or
ruler traits. They're called.
Ruler traits.
You've got avaricious, mercantilism, something, isolationist, and
is there only 4?
There's 4. Okay. Yeah, 4 total.
But they basically give you a goal that gives you a specific way that only you can get points, and so it gives you a kind of an overarching goal to work towards. So that there's actually kind of a second thing going on. Finally, it's not just one strategy.
Yeah, I personally really like the ruler traits because that was one thing that actually added a variety of strategies to play in. The one problem that I kind of come up with a lot with Era of Kingdoms is the resource component. And we talked about this. You can go look at the Should I Buy video. But Catan, for example, you have different types of resources, but they're used in different ways. You've got, if you want to focus on iron, that's kind of more an advanced resource. You can use that to build a city or...
Exactly.
Development
it's called
card.
ore, not
yes.
iron. Good.
Don't listen to this guy.
It's called
What do you read the rules?
You used to call it Catan, and I noticed you're calling it Catan now.
Did I say Catan? I meant
Guess what?
I meant Catan.
Klaus Teuber calls it Catan.
You get out of here.
So I think I said his name wrong, but
Nate's validation.
validity.
Ignore him. Anyway, the resource thing. In Catan, they're all useful. You can use a different resource, and they have different orientations, basically. But in Era of Kingdoms, it's basically just having 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's nothing unique about having the different resources. You just have to have all of them. That's how you win.
Basically,
Essentially,
it's
yeah.
a very, very one-dimensional game. And if you like one-dimensional games because you don't really like complex games, then this would actually be a game that you would probably like, especially if you like card games. Or engine building games, you would probably like this game quite a bit because it is very one dimensional. You have one goal and just be as good as getting to that goal as you can, and that's how you win.
It's a good stepping stone. You mentioned earlier it'd be a good game to play with kids because it isn't too complicated.
Not very complex, and it is kind of fun to play. I mean, if you were playing it a lot with your kids, you would probably get bored a lot faster than they would because it's lacks the complexity.
Yeah,
but it's still a fun game, and the theme is good, and so you can kind of get into it with the theme. It is immersive. But let's stick to the cons for now.
Yeah. Let's just focus on ripping on this game first.
Ripping on this game.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm angry because we kickstarted this game, and
I know
we're so excited.
And we were disappointed.
Our first Kickstarter, and
let us down. Yeah.
Not to be rude. It's just it was
a lot of work was put into that game. We respect that.
And
we do.
Parts of this game are great. Aspects of this game are really phenomenal, but on the whole, it is kind of a letdown as what we were expecting it to be, as to what it was.
Yeah.
So
it was described as a combination of Dominion and Catan, and then when you play it, it does not feel like either of those games.
Either at all.
No,
not at all. What is a good combination of Dominion and Catan is Space Base, but we're not talking about Space Base.
Which I have not played, but I will soon. Tomorrow.
Thematically, I guess it's a combination of Dominion and Catan, but in no other way except that it has cards.
Yeah, mechanically, there is almost no similarities.
Really?
I mean, there's resources, but there's resources in most games. So
yeah, and these resources are terrible.
Yes, I don't even remember what they are.
People, wood, wheat, and ore. And then technically
the four
goods.
essentials of any civilization.
You're bashing on it, but that's what Scythe has. So
hey. No, it's people, wood, food,
which is the same as wheat, and ore.
Oil.
Oh, oil.
The fires of industry rage.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, back to Era of Kingdoms. What else?
Is there anything else negative?
I think we bashed it pretty well.
We bashed it pretty good.
Let's be nice to the game.
If you
now.
watch our Should I Buy,
we
will tell you that you should not buy this game. Unless I said earlier, unless you like one-dimensional, simpler games, then you will like this game, especially because it does have a strong theme. Mm-hmm.
It looks great on a board game shelf.
Yes, it really does, and it looks great set up.
Yes,
with your player boards and your cards in the middle, and even when you throw that in there, it looks even better.
Yeah,
and high quality. And I guess we'll just segue right into that. So the pros to this game, mechanically, there are almost none, but aesthetically, they're off the charts. I mean, they look really, really good.
Yeah,
I mean, your
ignore
cards.
this. Look at the visual.
I mean, you probably can't see the cards very well. I guess we'll
look at the picture posted
the
here.
picture that's showing up.
Yeah,
the cards look really good. All of them do. A lot of time was put into the art on this game.
Jeff Porter,
for sure.
You done a good job, Jeff.
Very
Porter.
good job.
Yes.
And the quality is very good. Even the rule book. I mean, it looks
it's
awesome
a codex.
Going through the rule book.
I want to read rules from a codex.
All of this, there's parts of this, especially the goals that flip up randomly in the advanced deck, have this cool like ancient medieval art style on them, which looks
like
really
Gregorian.
Cool. Yeah,
that was cool stuff.
So the art is awesome. Quality materials is awesome. Like I said, it's fun for a while at first to play this game a little bit. It is fun.
Yeah.
It just gets old quickly.
Yeah.
It's, the problem.
Yeah. Thematically, it's very immersive. And that's one thing that I personally love about games. I love if it takes me and puts me somewhere else other than the present. And Era of Kingdoms does a good job of that, but again, just an actual gameplay, it doesn't hold your attention too well.
No. So that being said,
Yeah.
there are some rule changes we made, some house rules I came up with that I think really helped the game along.
Yeah.
There's attack cards in this game, and the attack cards, you basically get to steal riches from other players. And well, if you're interested in the house rules, then you probably already know how this works. And so
Yeah.
basically, you have 3 riches. Every player starts with 3 riches, and they recycle. They get traded amongst players or stolen amongst players. And the best way to modify this that I found is that everyone gets 2 resources, and you don't. They are not recyclable. When you use them, they're out of the game. But you can't steal them from one another. The way that attacks work, if you use an attack card, you actually get to draw a card from another person's hand. And this is a good way to mitigate luck, because there's part of the problem with this game really is you can really get caught up and you draw cards and okay, fine, I can play 2 wheat fields, fine. I don't want more than 2 wheat fields. Oh look, I just drew 4 cards and 3 of them are wheat fields.
Now you're stuck.
Now I gotta wait till my next turn to get rid of those cards.
And you're already
new
behind
ones.
at that point. So
yeah. So this, if you modify the attack cards where you can steal from everyone's hands that you beat, then you can get some good cards. To modify that a little bit, you can only steal cards up to whatever level of difficulty the card of attack is. So if it's a basic attack, you can only steal basic cards. Intermediate, you can steal intermediate and basic, and then advanced, you can steal anything. So, give it a shot. Personally, I found it really helps the game a lot. I thought with all those riches, everyone was just a little too rich, and it made the game seem even easier than it already seems. So, give it a shot. I think it works pretty well.
In side note, I'm guessing this is probably a commonly misunderstood rule, but attacks go against all other players, not just one. I played that wrong for a while.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I didn't play that wrong.
You need more riches from the other people.
Yes.
Yeah. Check this out. As the silver supporter, we got to name one card, and we took one of the cooler cards, the Trading Post. And look, Way Brothers Trade Goods. Insert visual here.
Unfortunately, it's one of the expansion cards. So I played with it once and then never again, because that was once with the expansion, then I was done. I'm pretty sure that this game, if you go out and buy this game right now, first of all, it'll cost you $40.
$39.99.
Buy it secondhand. Buy this game secondhand. I personally don't like buying games secondhand because I like having a new game and you get to punch everything
the pieces.
out.
Yeah,
you
that's
get to
the fun
open up
part
the
about it.
shrinked cards, and I like that, and I like knowing nothing's missing probably. This game, just buy it secondhand. It's not worth the $40. If it was $30, that's kind of doable. Maybe $25 is a definite yes for a collection. But $40 is way too expensive. But I'm assuming it comes with the 2 mini expansions in it, I would think.
Yeah, it's like on Amazon it comes as the Kickstarter pack, so
give those a shot
one edition,
right away.
I think.
Maybe play one game without them and then add them in, see if you like them. Definitely play with the traits.
Yes.
Those are definitely
ruler
good.
traits. That was one of the saving graces of the game, I feel like, so I'm really glad they added it as a necessity.
This game is salvageable if they made another expansion for it, but they won't. They won't because I have a feeling this game probably... I mean, it's ranked on Board Game Geek. This game is ranked about 4,500.
Wait,
it's ranked about 4,500 on their overall ranking. 4,500,
okay,
give or take.
Yeah.
So, probably not getting another expansion would be my guess.
But make your own.
Yeah.
Send a link to it in the comments.
Creative.
We'll check it out.
Yeah. So if you have any good ideas for house rules, or if we got something wrong, let us know. Please let us know if that might redeem
this game, please. We want to.
Prove us wrong. We own this game.
We were so excited for this game, and we got let down. So please lift our spirits. Make this interesting for us.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you don't have it, don't worry about getting it.
Yeah. Secondhand.
Yeah. Well, that kind of tells you about Era of Kingdoms. There are links at the end of the video to other videos that are related, such as board game soundtracks. A quick short should I buy, which if you've watched this entire thing, you already know.
You already know a lot more than you will from that video.
Yeah.
But go watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Give us those views.
Subscribe.
Definitely subscribe. That'd be awesome.
Just help a brothers out.
Help a brothers out. Anyways, thanks again for watching a Way Brothers video, and
Yeah.
Way, as you know, stands for.
We are elephants.
So thank you again. Go watch some more videos. Definitely subscribe, please.
Yeah. Out.